Welcome back, guys, to the channel. So, man, after getting all the bad news that everybody in the sports world got these last couple of days with the coronavirus, the NFL absolutely just explodes at noon once that legal tampering period started Monday the 16th. Incredible. I mean, I'm sitting there at work and like my phone's going off and I'm getting all these notifications. Then I'm going through Twitter, and I can't believe just the amount of action that's waiting to happen. Are we that naive and dumb to think these players weren't making it? It had to happen. We all know that. But does anybody sit back there and actually believe that these teams aren't necessarily not working under the rules that they're supposed to? Come on. We all know they do it, man. They do what they got to do to make themselves competitive. Whoever's got to do what they got to do to get themselves an upper leg up, they're going to do it, man. It's going to happen. So, guys, the NFL free agency is among us. Even though we are in the tampering period, we all know damn well that is the real start of free agency. That is when shit goes down. Players start getting tagged, cut, released, cap casualty, all that, you name it, it occurs, man. This is just the actual, it's just a euphoria what occurs here at this time in the NFL. So, guys, there's so much to talk about. There's so many moves that occurred today. I can't possibly keep up with it. I can't just possibly talk about it all in a short film. It's just not going to happen. So I'm going to do something that I normally don't ever do. I'm going to read off a little script here because there's just so much information I can't possibly remember it all. I won't need a little script for this one. I'm just going to go right into it. Let's start off with the Houston Texans and their buddy, what they did today. Bill O'Brien. My mans, what are you doing? Bill O'Brien, time and time again, you have shown your incompetence. You have shown how dumb you are. You have shown nothing but just a complete disregard for your team. The position that you put the Texans organization in now, the position they are in, is all your fault. You may look and say, hey, he's made it to the playoffs here and there. But what have they done of significance? You know damn well the Texans in a division that has been shaky the last couple seasons. You know damn well he's just taking advantage of that division and pretty much being weak as it was. And just getting into the first round of playoffs, just, you know what, after a while, it's just not enough. So they beat the Buffalo Bills this year, right? Okay, they beat the Buffalo Bills. But we know damn well they probably didn't stand a chance versus Kansas City. It has been bad move after bad move. Texans ownership, I got one question for you guys. What has this man done to command total control over your guys' roster? What moves has he made that makes you say, holy shit, this guy, we should give him complete control? Just take control of everything. Take it all. You guys got it. You're good, man. We'll sit back and cut the checks. You make all the personnel decisions. Wrong. What in the hell are you guys thinking? This guy, like I said, has been bad move after bad move. You know what the worst part about all this is? You get rid of Jadeveon Clowney. You get rid of DeAndre Hopkins, arguably two of the best players at their position in the entire league, and you don't see a first-round pick in return for any of that? You give up DeAndre Hopkins for pretty much scraps. David Johnson, a guy that's been declining, a guy that everybody knew. It had been reported the Cardinals wanted to let him go as a salary dump, and you get nothing in return. You pretty much give away DeAndre Hopkins for free. Holy smokes, I bet every general manager in the league was kicking themselves for that. I know when I saw that, I was sick to my stomach. I had the little butterflies and I was sick. I just couldn't believe it. Bill O'Brien, you are being that stupid, right? And then I just can't believe you're giving away one of the best players. And why? Because your feelings got in the way? Do your job. I'm not even a Texans fan, and I feel awful. Not a Texas fan, but I love Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun Watson has got to be unbelievably buku sick right now. He has got to be just out of his mind, pissed off. And you know what? Rightfully so. But you know what? The Texans ownership is to blame. You guys gave this guy the reins. Now wreak the havoc that's coming to you guys. It is all on the ownership. I'm sorry for the fans. This has got to be the worst for y'all. Let's move on. The Indianapolis Colts. We all knew they were in play for a quarterback after Andrew Luck retired. I think a lot of us could have speculated, and it's been talked about early on, that Phillip Rivers was a candidate. Well, they go ahead and they get themselves Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers, while I think his time was done with the Chargers, I think he still has some left in the tank. I think that's a good pickup for them. I mean, it's obvious they don't want to start over, right? They don't want to start over. They want to push, and they want to do what they can and get the most out of Phillip Rivers. That's fine. Then they make the big move for DeForest Buckner. DeForest Buckner is a monster. That is a great pickup on that line. You know, a defense that's all right is going to be that much better. Now, I still think on the flip side of that, the San Francisco 49ers did themselves well. Anytime, it's just like a vehicle. When you go to buy a vehicle, you're never going to get the money or the capital that you put into it. It depreciates in value over time. I don't want to talk about humans that way, but in the business that is professional sports, players with his age, he depreciates over time. DeForest Buckner, he's a first-round pick. Not very often do you get a guy traded later on in his career and you get a first-round pick in return. San Fran, y'all did a good job with that one. Dak Prescott, he gets tagged by the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the reason why this is significant is because they still haven't signed, they still haven't committed serious money to Dak Prescott. Now, I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I'm with you, Stephen A. The hell with the Cowboys. The hell with their fans. The hell with all of them. But listen, I think Dak Prescott has done enough to garner his money. He has. You know, what else does a guy got to do? There are guys lesser than him. Ryan Tannehill. Getting big paydays, big guaranteed money. Listen, but the Cowboys put themselves in this predicament. In a day and age where you absolutely do not invest big dollars on a running back, what do? I understand it's Zeke, but it's still big money to Zeke. Absolute big money. You put yourself in a predicament because now, with a new CBA, you can't use a transition tag and you cannot use a franchise tag. So what are they going to do? They're going to have to lock up Dak Prescott somehow, put the franchise tag on him. Amari Cooper, they're still probably going to want to sign Amari Cooper, but he's going to test the free agent market now. Then you lose your best cornerback in Byron Jones to the Miami Dolphins today. That Zeke signing is not looking that great right now. You just don't. Look at what ends up happening down the road. Look at the Rams wanting to get rid of Todd Gurley now. The Cardinals wanting to get rid of David Johnson. Melvin Gordon, pretty much gone. You know, the days of paying these running backs huge money should be just about over. But some GMs just fail to see that and move forward. It's just not what fits the modern NFL offense that much anymore. You can get these guys, great guys, Alvin Kamara, you can get these guys in the third and latter rounds. There's no need to invest this much money into these guys. The last but not least, let's talk about an AFC East rival to the Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins. Boy, the Miami Dolphins, I think they did themselves a huge favor. And me as a Bills fan, while I'm not convinced all their signings are that great, they got it going on, man. Not only did they spend pretty big, they still got good draft capital. They still got multiple first-round picks. If they get the quarterback situation right, they're going to be tough as hell. They started off as the worst team in the league by far. I mean, they looked like a Pee Wee League offense, a Pee Wee League roster, period. There was people starting to compare them to a college team, saying that Alabama could beat them, which we know that's a stupid myth that people talk about time and time again. But they were that awful. But the head coach, man, Brian Flores, I'm telling you, I like the way he coaches. I think he does an excellent job. And he got an awful roster moving in the right direction and playing well. And I can only imagine with him getting the right guys in there and getting good weapons, they could be a force to be reckoned with. They could, if they get the quarterback situation right and they continue to get better, watch out as a wild card spot, especially with the extra playoff spot this year. So it goes as follows. They signed Byron Jones. They make him the highest paid corner in the league. Is he worth that money? No. Is Byron Jones a top corner in the league? He can be somebody's number one corner. I don't think he's that great, but you know what? He deserves his payday. You know, it's free agency. You overpay for these guys. Good for the Miami Dolphins. Dallas Cowboys, y'all lost on this one. Miami Dolphins get the dub. Get him next to Xavier Howard. You get a great 1-2 tandem at the cornerback position. They go ahead and get themselves Shaq Lawson, former Buffalo Bill. I like Shaq Lawson, man. He turned it on. He was early on in his career as a bust, right? Picked up in the first round under the Rex Ryan regime. He blossomed the last couple years. He still lacks what you want out of a pass rusher. He's not the greatest pass rusher. Doesn't get necessarily to the quarterback with consistency. But what he does provide to you is a high motor, doesn't quit on plays, and is excellent, way above average in the running game. He stuffs, and he is a great tackler. I'd say at the price point, about $10 million is not that far off from Spot Track, which I believe was around $7.5. I don't think that's that much. You know, that it's a good deal. It's a good deal for him, and I don't think it's that bad for the Dolphins. I just know Buffalo wasn't going to commit that money to a rotational defensive end. It wasn't going to happen. Big W for the Dolphins, though. They go ahead and they get themselves Kyle Van Noy. After leaving from Detroit and going to New England, he resurrects his career. Kyle Van Noy, he was a pass rush monster. He gets to the quarterback pretty much at will. He's going to be great in that defense. Under that Brian Flores-led defense, he is going to flourish just like he did with New England. That is a great signing. Although, albeit big money, great signing. The one I'm real disappointed is so many linemen in there. But Eric Flowers, why are GM still giving this guy starting caliber money? The guy is inconsistent at best. He's a rotational guy at best. The guy is not good. And time again, for whatever reason, the NFL keeps giving this guy big money to start. I don't understand it, guys. That don't make sense. Dolphins, that was a head scratcher to say the least for me. Guys, I'm going to end this video here, but be on the lookout because as soon as I get these updates, I'm going to be popping out videos. This shit is just too good not to cover. Guys, if you enjoy content like this and you want to see more from me, do me that favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that notification tone. Like this video. If you like it, give that big thumbs up. I appreciate it. And leave me some info in the comments, guys. Give me some feedback. I love to talk sports. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Have a good one, y'all. Stay safe.